All right, Dolphins Today, little mailbag action. You're watching Dolphins Today by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Jake Rietma. So glad to have you along for a little mailbag action here. First question, use the hashtag Dolphins in the chat to submit your mailbag questions. Dolphins, this is from Batman. Rank the offense and the defense. Look, I'm a man that likes to live in the present. And that means 2023, what have you done for me lately? And lately, the Dolphins offense, one game sample size, but it's all I can go off of, was the best. Best passing game. There's room for improvement in the rushing attack, but statistically speaking, that was an absolute gem from the Dolphins on the road, no less, against the Chargers. So I don't think it's an exaggeration to put the Dolphins offense at number one. Call me crazy. Defense, however, that's going to leave a little room for improvement, which is okay because we got 16 more games to improve. But the defense gave up 234 yards rushing to the Chargers, albeit it's a really good rushing attack, and obviously the weapons that they have with Justin Herbert, Mike Williams, and so on and so forth. The Chargers are going to get theirs, right? They're going to Keenan Allen, I should have mentioned him as well. But the Chargers had their way a little bit with the defense, but they made plays when it mattered the most. And I think first-year defensive coordinator Vic Fangio is still learning how to best utilize his weapons there on the defensive side of things. And Vic Fangio historically isn't a guy that likes to blitz a lot. However, he's not opposed to it completely either because when the game was on the line, that final series, he dialed up a couple of different blitzes that helped bother Justin Herbert. One, he threw an intentional grounding pass. Two, he was sacked. And then on fourth down, they got to him as well. Justin Bethel, the cornerback, got in there with Jalen Phillips to get the sack. So defense has some room for improvement. Right now, they're not the worst defense in the league. Running-wise, again, it was not pretty at times. They were getting gashed. But I'll go with 25. So there's still a lot of room for improvement on the defensive side of things. But, hey, that offense carried us to victory in Week 1. We'll see who will carry us to victory in Week 2. This question comes in from Brad Silas. Hashtag Dolphins. With the Rodgers injury, are the Dolphins the team to beat in the AFC East? I love these types of questions because there is a measured system I use that helps determine who the favorites are. And those are any odd books because odds makers, they're trying to make money. They're going to give you the most accurate reading and the most accurate idea of where your team stacks up. And the new favorite to win the AFC East, we touched on it yesterday, it's the Miami Dolphins. So I think statistically speaking, in my heart of heart, what I believe and what I want to have happen. So 3 reasons why I do think the Dolphins are the favorite to win the AFC East. And again, it's one game, but we'll start to see as the season develops just how much this Dolphins team can solidify themselves as a force and a team to be reckoned with in the AFC East. And a divisional opponent on Sunday Night Football against the Patriots, that's a great place to start. You're on the road. It's a hostile environment. It's a standalone game, so everybody's watching. It's a national audience on NBC. It's going to be electric. What if the Dolphins just go into Foxborough, go into Gillette Stadium, and make a statement? Then I think more and more people will really start to believe in what this Miami Dolphins offense and what this Miami Dolphins team can accomplish. So, yeah, I have no problem saying the Dolphins are the favorite to win the AFC East. Another one coming in. Oh, we're going to switch it up. Yeah, we're going to ask you. That's right. I've been answering all the questions, so let's ask you the percent chance the Dolphins have to win the AFC East. This is tough. It's our pinned comment of the day. So if that YouTube ad hits you, don't panic. Just go down to the comments, type down what you think the percent chance the Dolphins will win the division. 1 through 100. Very simple. I think I want to put it at about a 75% chance right now. And what is that based off of? Right, wrong, or indifferent, the Jets are just a different team now. And again, it's unfortunate what happened to Aaron Rodgers, but it's the reality of the situation. He's gone. Zach Wilson, he ain't that guy, at least not yet. Josh Allen, we're not really sure what's going on. If you watch the post-game presser Monday night, he looked lost. He looked unsure of himself. He looked mad, angry. He didn't look like the Josh Allen that has helped the Bills win a couple of division titles in a row. So I'm not all in on the Bills either. And this Patriots team, when the season started, they were plus 900 odds to win the AFC East. And what are they now? The exact same thing. So I don't think their stock has really done anything after 1 week of play. They lost to the Eagles. Obviously, the Eagles, the defending NFC champs, so a really tough matchup there. But I got the Dolphins at a 75% chance to win the AFC. It's not quite I'm getting a little ahead of myself. If we're really sticking to the odds, it might be a little bit closer to 40% or so. But you tell me. Type it in the comments. All right. We got a couple other questions to get to on our mailbag here. Hashtag Dolphins from Isaiah Rodgers. Why do you think Greer has avoided trading for a stud center? Is there no available options to snag? No, that's a good question. And when you look at the landscape in the National Football League, especially at the offensive line position, I just really don't think that stud missing piece is out there for the Dolphins just to go out and plug and play. It's just not that easy. I think they believe in the core group of guys that they have: Terron Armstead, Isaiah Wynn, Connor Williams, Robert Hunt, Austin Jackson. And I know along with you, would have liked to see someone added at that center position. But, hey, when you believe in a player, and that could be the sentiment with Connor Williams, something about putting your faith in that player might bring out the best in him. So let's not overreact after just week one. Outside of some of the center quarterback exchanges, Connor Williams actually played pretty well if you check out his Pro Football Focus grade. Got a couple other questions coming in. How is Vic going to stop the run in the building? Oh, I see. Text. All right. Very good. Very good. All right. Very good. How is Vic going to stop the run? That's a great question, because I think it starts with linebacker play. And Baker has to play better, and up front they need to play better, get a little bit more of a push in the trenches. And again, it's one game, but I do think Vic Fangio will make some adjustments. What that looks like, maybe, stacking the box, playing a couple of guys up with different blitz packages, whatever it may be, something's got to be done. But also, too, recognize that Chargers rushing attack is top tiers in the upper echelon of the National Football League. I don't think you're going to face that two-headed monster like you did with Austin Eckler and Joshua Kelly against every other team. Like, take the Patriots, for example, this week. They rushed for 76 yards only last week against the Philadelphia Eagles. But point being, I think Vic Fangio will start to get it together on the defensive side of things. And Christian Wilkins even spoke out. He's a guy that you expect to make more plays on the defensive line. And he said, we know that's not the standard. We know we can play better, and I expect them to do that. And it starts in week 2. All right, make sure you subscribe to Dolphins Today on YouTube. You can hit that sub button in the comments or go to youtube.com/DolphinsNews. Sub for dub, that's how it works. We've really grown the channel in the last couple of weeks, which is awesome. It's a testament to you guys. We do appreciate that. And the more subs, the more Dolphins content. It's simple the way it works. Let's get to a couple more. How about this one? When are they going to give Cater the respect? That's from Tampa Street. Hey, he keeps playing how he did in week 1. They'll definitely know his name. They'll give him the respect he deserves. Not only did he make plays as a cornerback in the secondary, but he also had that huge play on the third down with the Chargers backed up near their own end zone with the sack on Justin Herbert. It was almost a safety. Herbert had to reach the ball over the goal line to avoid the safety. But that was a huge play because if you remember, the Chargers had to punt out of their own end zone, and that gave the Dolphins their best field position of the day and resulted in a one-play, 36-yard strike from Tua to Tyreek Hill for his first touchdown in the third quarter, and it all started with Cater Coes. So, again, he keeps playing how he did in week 1. They'll respect him sooner rather than later. Are you worried about the defense after giving up 34 points to the Chargers? Worried might be too strong of a word. I am taking note. I'm interested to see the improvements that will be made in week 2. I'm cautiously optimistic that the defense will improve in week 2 and that they won't be an Achilles heel of this team. But there are certainly factors when you take a look at the tape from week 1 to be concerned about. A couple of drives in which there was one drive the Chargers did not complete a pass, and it was a touchdown drive. They threw it one time. The rest was just run, gash, gash, gash. Austin Eckler, Joshua Kelly just gashing the Dolphins defense. So concerned, I don't know if concerned is better than worried. I'm not a grammar major, but I'll say I'm a little bit concerned, but not worried. It's not keeping me up at night. Vic Fangio, proven defensive coordinator in this league. He's won a Super Bowl as a defensive coordinator. He knows what he's doing. He'll get the guys right. So, no, not worried. How about that? That actually happens to be our question of the day. Be honest with me. Are you worried about the Dolphins defense? Real simple. Type Y for yes and N for no in the comments. And I know it's not always that cut and dry. Are you worried? Yes or no. But I'm just going to go ahead and type an N in those comments because I'm not. I'm not worried. Fangio just needs a little bit of time to gel with that defense, find out the best ways to utilize some of those guys that he's just been working with in his first season here and really maximize the Dolphins' ability on the defensive side of things. Couple more questions coming in. By the way, Jake, are you an NBA fan? Dolphins win 3-pick for X-Men. Am I an NBA fan? Yes, I am. I love the NBA, and I enjoyed watching the playoffs last year. I know I'm guessing based on that profile picture with the Heat that you would have loved to see the Heat win it all, but that didn't quite happen. Yeah, 3 picks for X. Whew, might be tough. Maybe. I mean, it could make it happen, right? Oh, who do we got in the building now? Welcome in none other than Trizzy Trace, host of Saints. Next question, let's get to it. How can Connor stop with the bad exchange, high snaps? He's giving me multiple heart attacks. That's from Sherry May. I wish I had a perfect answer for you. Obviously, we know it's a point of emphasis, and you like to think that he'll be able to find the groove with Tua Tagovailoa and continue to build that cohesiveness and continue to build that chemistry. But I don't think it's there's some magic button you can flip to say, hey, figure it out. But I do think the coaching staff has the confidence in Williams to be able to be the center because, as that one question pointed out, the Dolphins haven't made any roster moves to bring in a backup center. He is the guy. So I do think it's going to be one of those things that, hey, it's either you know what or get off the pot, and the Dolphins believe in Connor Williams. So that means I believe in Connor Williams. We need Ramsey back now. Not really a question there, but I don't think the secondary was really the problem for the Dolphins defense in week 1. It was that front 7. We know they can be better. In fact, I think the secondary made some plays, and they were, you could even make the case that their backs were against the wall because they had to suck up to try to stop that rushing attack from the Chargers, and they were still able to limit Justin Herbert by his standards. Didn't even throw a touchdown, and at the end of the day, the Dolphins were victorious. So, yeah, we need Ramsey back. We'll get him back. We'll get him back before the end of the season, but that's one of those cases, just like the Jets are going through right now. Injuries are a part of the game. So, with that said, we appreciate a follow on Twitter, tweeting out Dolphins content all the time at Jake_Riepma. I'm on part of Team Follow Back, so I'll follow back. And the good news is Dolphins content lives on the Twitter waves. It lives on Dolphins Today, and you subscribe to the channel, and you know what? You're going to be, and make sure you turn those notifications on because then you'll be alerted every time we go live, every time we've got a video on demand, and every time we've got a watch party going on.